Welcome to episode 17 of Psycho Pass. Last time Makishima was captured, Cho and Kagari were killed when they found out the secret of what the Sybil system really is, which we didn't get to see. So, pretty tragic way for Kagari to go out. So, I can't wait to see what comes of it. There are 6 episodes left, I believe, counting this one. So, can't wait. We're going to watch the episode and discuss it. Got the subtitles and timer on screen if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the episode on the side in full. But either way, let's get into it. In 3, 2, 1, play. So where are we going to pick up? Right after? A little while later? How about all the other riots? Have they all been sort of quelled, settled down? It seems that way. People rounded up after all the chaos they caused. Look at this. So many places destroyed. Alright, so it seems like we've done it. We settled all the chaos. Makishima is captured. We win, right? Okay. A few little losses, of course. They don't know about Kagari. They know he's missing. An enforcer just left. And they don't know. I mean, of course, we're not done. We haven't won. There's more time in the show. More is going to happen with Makishima. But for now, they're like, well, I guess we did it. So what's the deal going to be with that enforcer? I don't know. I don't think we've seen her. She's just some other enforcer. So how will that come into play? That's interesting. But yeah. While the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. Psycho Pass comes out every Wednesday, with other videos every single day of the week. Also check out the description down below for links to Twitter and Discord if you want to hang out there, and Patreon where you can support this channel, get these videos early, vote in polls for which shows I'm going to watch, get exclusive vlogs that aren't going to be on YouTube, and all that stuff. Thank you. So Season 3's been airing right now. Has anybody been watching that? I haven't heard very much. I've seen a few general thoughts on it here and there, and they've been positive, but I haven't seen very many. I haven't gone out of my way to really look for them. So, I don't know. And some of those people, I don't know how they felt about Season 2. I don't know if the general consensus is that it's now better than Season 2, or what, or how it is compared to Season 1, but we'll see about that eventually. Still on Season 1 right now, and it's been fantastic. So let's keep going with episode 17, Iron Heart. Yeah. It's kind of the point of Minority Report to stop it before there are any victims. And in a sense, the Sybil system too, just in a different way, in kind of lesser sense. Limit the number of victims as much as they can. I guess that's a good way to put it. Kind of for the sake of their own safety. Yeah. There was nothing people could really do about it, so you kind of just had to accept it. Sort of had to indoctrinate yourself. Some, of course. Can't say that that's how everybody would do it. I would say so. It's probably how we've stuck around so long. How indeed. Yeah. What are they going to try to do with him? And I mean, we know he's going to escape or something. I don't know if that enforcer woman that got away will have to do with it. I mean, because we don't even know who she is. But the show's not over, so he still has more to do. And they don't know. Like, and they won't find him because he exploded. So, unless they can get some kind of recording of it somehow, security footage, and find out eventually, that's got to be erased. As if there would ever be footage of that room that's so secretive in the first place. Yeah, he's still there. He's still a present, even if you don't consider him a threat. He's a presence. Difficult to prosecute based on evidence. That's the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. Okay. A special team. They're like, you're done with this case. You're not involved anymore. To see if he's. You guys have polygraph tests in this world? He can fool those for sure. I guess not. No. So, yeah, that's it. She says your role is done. Is that a fucking Rubik's Cube? It's the easiest Rubik's Cube in the world. Yeah, that did happen. You do have loose ends. Don't act like you don't know what happened to Kaguri. And I don't know what the deal is with her, because she got, like, fucking fucked up. So I don't know if she just fixed herself, or if she has multiple bodies, because, like, if there's just a bunch of fucking robots of her, cyborgs. Yeah, they're like, we were involved in all of this. Kogami very personally goes back with this for years. And you're saying we're off the case? But what can you do? An enforcer can't go see the chief. And even if you could, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? Sorry to say, you're not going to find anything. So here he is. So was being captured part of the plan? I can't imagine so. But we'll see if he can improvise, or maybe it was a plan, a contingency. In case I get captured, here is what I'll do. I don't think he would have wanted to be captured. Okay, really? Over just 3 years? Obviously she knows him. Borrowed a book from him? What? Wait. She's him? How, what, I'm sorry? Yeah, 3 years, that lines up. What? There's no way. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was mostly robotic, but she's even more advanced, and most people can't access that. So are they putting, like, the brains of these people who are captured into robots that look like Her? Because there might be multiple of her, or she can fix herself. Yeah, see, there's multiple. What the fuck? Oh, this is a lot all of a sudden. The brains are unitized, though, and they can be swapped. What? Whoa. Wait, like this is a lot to think about. Holy shit. Definitely gonna have to save a lot of this for the discussion at the end. So, like the captured criminals who couldn't be judged, the criminally asymptomatic, they make up. Damn it! I gotta pay attention, but I gotta talk about this. Yeah, they're trying to investigate Kagari. They make up the civil system with their brains, and they also control Kase, who has like multiple robot bodies. Mm-hmm. And like their brains all work together, but they also have their individual brains that can come out and be representatives. Whoa! What? What? Hold on. All right, we found a dominator. So like those criminally asymptomatic, like they are the system. Holy shit. Anyway, they found his dominator. But that's all you're gonna find. Good thinking, buddy. Some good detective work. Cho recorded it. It's actually saved on there? Are we gonna get to see it or no? Wait, what? Whoa, were those brains? Were those brains? They're fucking brains. They're the brains of criminals. This is so cool. So this is it. This what a like you knew it had to be something along these lines, but like this looks so cool. Not what you'd expect it to look like, probably. So yeah, we do have some footage here, thanks to Cho, but then it kind of ended right there. 247 brains, most of them functioning at a time. Wow, so that's it. It's through the human brain activity. He went boom. Yeah, the crime coefficient is much more specific. It's a lot harder to assess. I don't know how the phone kept recording that way. Like, did it fall on its side? Didn't really show her killing Kagari very much. Couldn't see much of that. Yeah, it's a bunch of human brains making these judgments. It's people. It's brains, human brains making decisions. But they're considered above mankind. To be irregular in the first place. Criminally asymptomatic, right? unemotionally detached from the outside, to see themselves as outside of humanity and able to judge them objectively. But, like, nah. And those are the kind of people we want to group in with us. Yeah. Just expand it out further. What? Holy shit. That's what happened to him. That's what happened to apparently over 200 people. Yeah, I'd imagine you'd be confused, but now you're like way into it. Feels like he's been given this power, that they're in control. What a hell of a reveal. Yeah, they want him in there as well, of course. He's like, that, no, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and escape now. Somehow. Yeah, it obviously wouldn't be. Values that free will very much and that individuality. Yeah, he seems to still be Kozaburo just fine. He can separate himself individually. So it seems. It's not going to happen. There's no way. But you will live on and become greater. That's going to be a big fat no. The what? The fuck is that? Oh, okay. Haven't read it. That sounds not how that works. Got the gun ready. Who needs a Dominator when you have a book? A nice hardcover, and then bam! You were a little slow on that trigger. Sorry. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'll figure it out. I'll improvise. Damn! Didn't really seem to feel that, considering. But still, it'll kind of immobilize you. Oh, nice. He picked up on that small little hint. Of course he would. He's pretty fucking smart. Yeah. Just that quickly, he's gonna escape right away. Nah. No thanks. Not what I'm after. Yeah. I don't want to be above it all. I want to be in it. Clearly. Bye. Bam. What a fucking episode. He's just gonna tear her apart. See what's inside there. Even after that, even in this state, you still fear death. So that's where they were this whole time, in that. I don't know if I was supposed to pick up on that. But we kept cutting to that thing flying around the city. I didn't really think that that's where he currently was. But sure enough, holy fuck. Oh my god. So we just found out a huge secret. We just found out a huge element of the plot. Makishima's escaping. Wow. I want to watch more right now. And they are none the wiser about any of this. They don't know. They don't know what happened to Kagari. They don't know what the system really is. They don't know that Makishima's escaping. Is there anything after the credits? It seems like there's a decent amount of time left, but maybe it's just the preview. Oh, nope, there is something. Let's skip ahead a little bit to that right now. So, yeah, we'll just see what this is real quick. Hi. Not really there, but he just kind of had a little connection with Makishima. He's going to have some kind of bad feeling, like, I feel like he's going to escape. Little premonition. Yeah, that's right. He just called him. Hey, I know the truth now. Letting you know. Yeah, you should probably just forget about it. It's okay. He just basically told Kogami that he escaped. Told him that he knows the truth, and you should probably quit your job. It's not worth it. Yep, they're gonna... Yep, they know. Now he knows. But it seems that he's escaped already. The very next episode after you got him. Like, I knew it would happen, but I didn't know it would be that fast. But holy shit, let's talk about that. Alright, episode 17. Wow. I didn't expect that so quickly. After the last episode, where Kagari and Cho find out the secret behind the Sybil system, and then die, and we don't find it out, Makishima is captured. I didn't expect in the very next episode, Makishima escapes, and we find out the truth. Obviously, those things were going to happen. I didn't think they'd be the very next episode, but I love it. I love that it's moving along at such a good pace, and that we didn't waste any time there. And I mean, yeah, the show doesn't have all that many episodes left, so it's gotta move. And I can't wait to see what kind of exciting climax we get. I didn't know if we would have time of Makishima, like, in jail, and you've got scenes of him sitting in jail, and you're wondering what he's thinking as people try to talk to him, and we get any kind of generic, I planned to be captured all along. I was pretty sure that wasn't the case, but there was a possibility he had contingency plans in mind, ideas of what to do if he was captured, or he would just be so good at improvising and be so smart and badass that he could get out. We knew he would get out. For them, they're like, well, I guess we've done it. We've settled the riots. Makishima's captured. Case closed. We win. But we know, okay, if there's more time in the show, Makishima's way too good. He's not going to stay captured. But for it all to happen like this, to get this reveal, that was great. But yeah, them being taken off the case, of course, that sucks. Them putting in all this work, Kogami having this personal attachment that goes back years, and then being told that they're not involved anymore. And to go deal with the missing Kagari and this other enforcer, I don't know how she's going to come into play. There's not a lot of time left in the show. We don't know who she is at all. She's just some other enforcer who disappeared during the chaos, so I don't know. Presumably she has to come back, so maybe she will somehow on Makishima's side. Maybe they'll meet up somehow, but I don't know if there's enough time to really get us interested in this new character, but that's got to play into it somehow. We'll see what goes on there. Maybe he'll just use her in some way. Maybe he'll find her, kill her, take her Dominator. I know he wouldn't be able to use it, but something involving that, since they do find Kaguri's Dominator in this one and are wondering exactly what happened to him. So, poor guy, he got completely destroyed. It wasn't just the regular make you go pop like happened to Cho. It was the other one that just completely decimates, like what they used on, robots that they needed to destroy and stuff like that. Just completely disintegrated. There's no trace left as far as we know. And I was saying at the beginning, like, how are they going to find out? Are they going to have to be told? Do they have it on camera somehow? There probably wouldn't be like security cameras in that room. Maybe there would be. Maybe there'd be some secret way to access that kind of thing. But of course, Cho did take the video, and it still exists. And I don't know if Makishima took that. I assume he did. I don't remember the last time we saw it, but he might still have access to that. The only thing is, I don't know how the phone fell in such a way where it was still recording over there. Like, if it fell, you'd think it would either be recording the floor or the ceiling. Maybe there was like a well, Cho didn't explode entirely, right? She hit him in the head, so his head exploded. So he still had a body, at least parts, right? So it could have been propped up against his body. That works. And you can see in that video, I think, the glow of the Dominator as she changes it and fires it at Kaguri, but you can't actually see his death. He's not there in the video, but maybe from seeing that, they could piece it together, because they would know that Kaguri went down there after him as well, and watching her clearly doing something else with the Dominator after killing Cho might tell them that she used it on Kaguri too. But yeah, it just sucks that he had to die for that, just because he found out the truth. And seeing the way that it looks is awesome. It's a great reveal. It hasn't been like the most interesting and mysterious thing about the entire show, like, ooh, what is the Sybil system? What is the truth behind it? There have been so many other good things in the show, and I think that's one of its strengths. There could be some shows where that's like the entire thing. The entire thing rides on this one mystery, and if that mystery has an unsatisfying answer, the whole thing is bunk. But this has had so much other good shit that I didn't even really much care. Like, whatever the answer was, it'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. If it was something dumb, I could brush it aside, because everything else has been so good. All the characters, all the themes they've explored, the way they've used this idea of the Sybil system in so many cool ways. A great villain with Makishima. They've done so many good things in the show, so many mysteries and fun plots in other places, that what the truth behind the Sybil system was only a part of it. And even so, I still think it lived up to some hype. There's only so many things that it could be. You're not gonna have like some crazy thing that just blows people out of the water. But the way they did it, I think, was really good. It has to be like somebody behind it, a group of people, a group of brains, something like that going on. But I just think it looked really cool. It looked different than you might expect. You expect to see some kind of supercomputer, or just like people in vats, or just a bunch of brains in a vat. But to see it organized the way that it is really cool looking. And I love the in-depth explanation that they go into. And that is so cool. Like, it was a lot to process as it was happening. And I was like, whoa. I need to think about all this. I need to discuss it all, but I gotta pay attention. I gotta wait. And I just wanted to get it all out there. I wanted to yell about how cool it all was and what it all meant, but I needed to save some of it for the discussion. So for her to, of course, Kase to show up completely fine after, getting a little bit dissolved in the Cho Kaguri incident, but then to say, oh, it's me, Toma, it's like, wait a minute, what? And to process all of that. So yeah, like, these criminally asymptomatic people, basically psychopaths, which, I mean, that's the title of the show, Psychopaths. It's a play on the word psychopath. So yeah, people who don't operate under emotion, maybe operate differently than most normal people, can be objective, logical judges outside of generalized humanity. People who don't let those pesky emotions get in the way and operate under their own beliefs and ideals. Like Toma, they are taken in. They've got over 200, at least 200 working at any given time. And they are the Sybil system. And they are also Chief Kase. So I don't know how that works entirely. Like, they can be a collective And I don't know, I might have to go back and look at all the details again, or maybe it hasn't fully been explained yet. But either way, I don't know if like her general persona is any one of them individually, or if that's like them all collectively embodying her. But sometimes one can be given permission to take charge if it's needed, like it was here, in order to have him talk to Makishima. But either way, them, whether it's individually or as a group, those criminally asymptomatic people are the system and are the chief, and that's absolutely insane. But I think it works perfectly. I think it makes sense. I think it's really interesting as a reveal. You have these people who operate so differently than typical people do, and Makishima does as well, but in such a different way. Of course, he's going to say no to this, and this makes me interested in how the end of the show will be with him. Because I said before, it'd be great for him to survive and come back in a sequel as a Hannibal Lecter type in jail that they have to go consult. Maybe a little cliche, you know, you have the villain survive and you can consult them later or bring them onto the team later, and then they've got this presence and you don't know if you can trust them and you worry about whatever they're plotting. But even if that's kind of a trope, it's one that I like. So, you know, and because Makishima is awesome, I'd love to see him again in the future. I feel like that's not going to happen, because from what I've heard from the sequels, he's not in them, so he probably doesn't stick around. But I don't know, maybe he escapes. But would he be brought into the system against his will? Would he end up dying in a way that could be like a happy ending for him, both because he could start to cause potential reform in the system, which is what he wants, and because he could avoid being brought into the system, which he wouldn't want? I'm very curious how the ending of the show will be for Makishima, now that we know that. But yeah, just seeing him here, of course he's gonna say no to this. And that's so interesting. Like, it must have been crazy for them to wake up like, oh, what? I'm a brain. I'm just a brain. I'm part of the system. What? But then to get used to it, and for most of them, apparently, to eventually revel in it, maybe because they had no choice. Kogami was kind of talking about that similar kind of thing at the beginning, about the type of society that this is, and people adapting to it, and people kind of having to turn a blind eye, because what else could they do? So they kind of just had to fool themselves into thinking that it was as perfect as it seemed. So it could be the same kind of thing with the brains in the civil system, like, nothing you can do about it, so you may as well convince yourself that you're an almighty god, and this makes you a rule over everybody. And if that's what you like, cool. I don't think I'd be very satisfied as just a brain ruling over people and making laws, but if that's what you're into, then go for it. Of course, Makishima's not going to be like that. I really like what he says. He's like, nah, I don't want to be some outside observer to this game. I love this game of life, and I want to be in the thick of it for as long as I can. And I love when he said, like, even as this god ruling over all, you still fear death. I love what he was doing there. He's so badass. Just throwing the book at her, kicking her ass like that, escaping. I love how they kept showing the shot of that thing flying around the city, and then that's where he was, figuring out that he was in transit and that he could escape. He's impressive. He's so much fun to watch. He's great. But yeah, and just quoting books the way he always does. Great scene. I loved all that, but it made me think of a recent episode of Vinland Saga, where we had the priest in that show giving his version of what true, perfect love really is, and he described a dead body as perfect. That humans can't really reach perfection until they're dead, or snow is perfect. This earth is perfect because a dead body, it doesn't discriminate, it doesn't intentionally do harm to anything. It gives energy to the planet, it feeds animals who are going to eat it, it doesn't complain, it just is there, and it's just in perfect harmony with everything else. And I argued that in order to have perfect love, I would say that agency needs to be involved. Free will. Now, we could go into the fucking free will discussion, but we're not going to do that here. Colloquially, what we would refer to as free will. You know, choices, and the choices to not do harm and to not discriminate and to show love to others. I think that's what what you would call love in the most perfect way that you could hope to reach. I think if you've just got a dead body decomposing, well, there's no choice in that matter. That's just what it is. That's just what it has to do. Like, yeah, a rock doesn't go out of its way to discriminate, but that's because it can't. It's not choosing not to. So in that same way, with Makishima saying, like, it's about free will and individuality and choices that are made, actual decisions consciously made by people are what have value. I think it's the same kind of thing there. Like, because people are able to actually be their own agents, that's what's important. And without that, there's just no value, and it's not what he's looking for. Then the after credit scene, them finding out, like, yeah, he's escaped. Well, shit. We should have seen this one coming. It's pretty easy for him. But I mean, yeah, like, shit. I don't know how many more details there will be about the civil system and the specifics of how it works. There's maybe not as much to say as I may have thought, mostly because a lot of what I would have to say would just be like recapping all the details that they did share about how the system works, but I don't need to do that. You watched the episode, you heard it. I just think it's really cool, and I just love how deep they went, how long that scene went of her explaining things. A lot of exposition, but not boring at all, because it was pretty fascinating. And so to think that that's what's been judging this whole time. How many people are going to find out about this? Obviously, like Akane and our main cast has to. They have to find out, and how is that going to affect them? That's the one thing that gets me excited for future seasons, most of all. If they do find out the truth and carry over into future seasons, because I know Akane is still in season 2. I think season 3 has like a mostly new cast. I don't know about that, but how would it affect them knowing the truth? What would they try to do after that? How will they try to fix it? How will they try to reform it? I have no idea. But they have to find out the truth. I don't think that'll be a widespread reveal, because that would cause too much chaos. I don't think they'll just tear the system down, because that's not going to work either. Like, it's got to be about compromising and fixing it from within. So what will they try to do? How much will we focus on that as the franchise goes on? I don't even know what the movies are about. I don't know if I guess they're canon, but I don't know how important they are. I've heard the first movie was pretty good, I guess. Because it's a big deal. Cho said, like, we don't even have to destroy it. If people found out about this, it would be done. And yeah, that's probably true. To think that it's being operated by these human brains like that, and to think that these people, these criminally asymptomatic, psychopathic type people, are the best judges, are the best ones to make these decisions, because they don't let that pesky emotion get in the way. They can be purely logical and objective and look at it from an outsider perspective, look at it from above. And to think that that is like the perfect method of judging, I would probably have to disagree there. I think there's still going to be personal bias no matter what. And I can't say I've studied the field in depth of psychopathy or sociopathy or anything like that, or whatever else is going to be revealed in this show, whatever other opinions people might share when they find out, which I'm excited for. But just from hearing what we heard in this episode, it definitely seems extremely flawed. And I mean, we've seen that the system is very flawed, and this really goes to show you why that is. But yeah, I definitely think there's a big problem with running it this way and thinking that that's the perfect way to go about it. But it's fucking interesting. And just to think that this, like, came to be, that the people on high had this decision, like, what if? I'd love to see the meeting. It's like thinking about The Purge, like, although they did make a prequel movie about the first Purge, but I didn't see that one. But to think that somebody had to be like, guys, like, what if one day a year murder was just legal? Wouldn't that be funny? And so, like, somebody just joked about that, and people were like, you know what? So to think, like, what if we took people's brains? Are you with me? It's just interesting to think about how it came to be. So we'll see what happens, because you have Chief Kase. I don't know how many different bodies she's got, but even if they can't change the system entirely, maybe they can depose her. Like, even if they can't change how the system operates, maybe letting new people be in charge. I don't know how they can change it and what they can do. Because she's not like a person. Again, I don't know what more details will be revealed, but it seems like she entirely is the system represented, but if they can get rid of the function she serves, I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing like randomly here. Whatever else they'll find out about Kaguri, they already suspect foul play, already suspect that he may have been killed, but we'll see if they get confirmation on all that. And what Makishima does now that he knows the truth and he's escaped, what the hell is he gonna do? I can't wait to find out. Such a great scene, great conversation. I love the way it was all revealed. It was so much fun to watch. So many great individual lines and ideas in there, but I think I've covered enough for now, and anything else that needs to be said, we can talk about it down in the comments, talk about it in the future. I also like how they mention just other countries. She was talking about how this country has perfected this. So that's fascinating as well, like wondering about what other countries are like in the world, because as far as I know, this is a Japan thing. I don't know how the rest of the world is doing outside of the Sybil system. I don't know if that gets explored more in the future. I think in the movie that is at least touched on from what I've heard, because I've heard that there were people who spoke English in the movie, so I think maybe they go to the US or something like that. So I would love to see that in the future, but it's cool to have it touched on a little bit. But yeah, for now, we'll go ahead and call it there. Leave your thoughts down in the comments and we can talk about it more. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed and you want to see more. Check out the Patreon and all that stuff linked down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.